Welcome back to Series 2 of Simplify Health to Magnify Life. We're in construction mode today, so make sure you wear your hard hat or your vest for safety, and I've got my tool bag with me today to go through a couple of similarities the body has to a building. Just put this here for a second. My name is Elise DiGiovanni, and with you today, I'm going to simplify health to magnify life. Did you know I wrote a book? I've written two actually, but my second book is called Under Construction, The Body Rebuild. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Yes, it's about the body, and yes, it's about rebuilding your body from the inside out so that it can work for you the most efficient way possible. Let me tell you more. The body is very similar to a building site or a construction zone. Let's work through it. We have the electrical wiring system. My tool belt. The electrical system, electricity. We also have the joineries, joints in the body. I'd be marking about 400 of those because that's how many there are, even more probably, but lots of joints in the body, the joinery. Then we also have electricity, joinery, and the plumbing. Electricity, joinery, and plumbing of the body. We're going to talk a little bit more about these three things and what each thing needs to work efficiently and effectively. Let's start with my favourite, what I'm known for, and that is the joinery. What is joinery in a building? It is all of the last bits and pieces that go in, the window frames, the doors, everything that kind of click into place and hold it all together is the joinery. What's the joinery in our body, we think? It's one of my favourite topics actually. It is our joint structures, it is our muscle, it is our ligaments, and it is our tendons. So we've got joints, muscles, ligaments, and tendons. I'm not going to write that whole word because I'm going to take forever. That's the joinery, okay? Then we move on to our electrical system. Now in housing, there's a lot of electricity going on in buildings, etc. It's what runs the entire place. Behind the light switch is your electrical cord or your electrical circuit with millions of wires that talk to each other here and there and everywhere. We have the same in our body. It is called our central nervous system. CNS. That thing talks everywhere all over your body and communicates to move your muscles, to move your toes, to go to the toilet. Lots of different things come from the central nervous system. Then we have the plumbing. Now in the house or in a building, what does the plumbing do? It gets rid of crap. It gets rid of unwanted stuff away from the building. Very similar to our plumbing in our bodies. What does it do for us? It rids our toxic waste away. Now I'm not just talking about I'm talking about we blink. That excretes foreign materials out of our eyes. We cough. We sneeze. Our body sweats. Yes, we go to the toilet front ways and back ways. Our heart pumps constantly. There are things that we don't see on the outside. There are things we see on the inside of our plumbing. That's our cells constantly renewing themselves. Our heart pumps constantly, otherwise we'd be dead. Our lungs expand, breathe in and out. There's movement constantly happening within our bodies called our plumbing system. So let's write a few of these down. Plumbing system, cells, blood, waste. No, don't fall on me. Waste, spell it right, please. Cells, blood, waste, lots of other things. You know what plumbing is. Okay. Now we've got the 3 functions of our body. There's plenty more, but we're simplifying things here. We've got our joinery, our electricity, and our plumbing. Let's now delve into what these things need to kind of excite them or make them work better. Let's start with electricity. What do you think our electrical system in our body, our central nervous system, needs to fire up to do its job to the best of its ability? It needs to be tantalized. We do not tantalize our nervous system anymore. In fact, we're quite lazy with our nervous system. There are a couple of things we can do to tantalize our own nervous systems, to really bring a little bit of pressure, and I'm not talking about stress, but a little bit of pressure so that that central nervous system actually switches on and goes, oh, I have a job to do here. I'm not just sitting on the couch not doing anything. One thing we can do for our central nervous system is exercise. Okay? When we bring movement in our body, it basically encourages all of our systems inside and outside to have to switch on and deliver as fast as possible through blood flow, through muscles, through movement, through brain function, through connectivity from the brain to the movement patterns happening in our body. So I'm going to write exercise as 1. Or movement. Something else switches on our central nervous system. There's a lot of other things that switch on our central nervous system, but I'm just going to hone in on a couple today. I've written about this one in my book. This is one of my top tools that switches on my central nervous system. It is hot and cold therapy. If you don't have the hot, you can just do the cold. If you don't have the cold, you can just do the hot, or you can do them together. What is hot-cold therapy and why does it work so well for your central nervous system? As I said, we don't tantalize our central nervous system anymore. Our body sits and festers at a good 37 degrees constantly. We go outside and it's cold, so we put a jumper on. We come back inside and it's hot, so we flick the air conditioner on. We don't ever get back to that hunter-gatherer day where you actually go outside, it's cold, but your body has to do its job for you to acclimatize your body to the temperature variations out there. That's not happening anymore. And this is why we are getting a lot more issues with our central nervous system, I believe. So what can we do to help that? We can jump into extreme heat or extreme cold that instantaneously switches on and ignites your central nervous system because it has to do a job to keep you either cool or warm. Okay? When you jump into heat, what happens? Your blood is pulled away from your vital organs to your extremities. That's why you get flushed. That's why you get red in the face when you get into hot. When you exercise, the same things happens. You get flushed because you don't want to overheat your vital organs, so you get that pulling away from the vital organs to keep them safe, and that's why heat is really good for the extremities and what lives on the extremities. Our joinery. If you've got aches and pains, it's great to have heat sources to help that circulation, to help with aches and pains through your joinery. But here's the important bit. After you've been in the heat and you jump directly into the cold, what happens? The complete opposite. It is like a poof, up the ass of your central nervous system, and it has to switch off that and on there and change what it was doing before, and now what it has to do is pull the blood back into your vital organs and away from your extremities, because your extremities are probably the first thing that are gonna, die off if you are in extreme cold. You don't need your fingers and your toes, you need your bloody heart, you need your lungs. So that blood flow goes back into your vital organs to keep them running and warm and doing their job, and that's why you get goosebumps, because all of your pores are going and trying to keep in all of the heat into your body, okay? So if you go from cold to hot, to cold to hot, your central nervous system is getting the best workout it can possibly get, because it has to go, what am I doing, what am I doing, what am I doing? Okay, now I've got to readjust here, now I've got to readjust here. That's why people do hot-cold therapy. It is like the fountain of youth. How you can do it at home, you can have a nice warm shower, and at the end of the warm shower, you can turn the cold water on. And I reckon if you do that for about a week of cold showers at the end of your hot showers, you're going to notice a difference of how you feel. And it's because you are switching on your central nervous system, getting it to exercise and train internally. That is tool number one that you... That is tool number one, hot-cold therapy, that you can put in your body tool belt. Anytime you feel sick, anytime you feel run down, anytime your body's not doing what it should be, take that tool out, hot-cold therapy, give it a whirl. I bet you it does a lot for you. Put that one in your tool belt. All right. Next one. By the way, there are plenty of other things I have written about that switches on your central nervous system, but I would be talking about this forever. So you've got to read the book if you want to understand my other tools to switch on your central nervous system. Let's move along to plumbing, okay? Now, what do you think we need for our plumbing to work efficiently and effectively? Exercise. We need exercise. What else do we need? Fuel. What goes into our body comes out of our body. So we've got to make sure that that's good stuff to do its thing in there. So, food. Exercise and food are probably the best things that you can do for your plumbing system. Why exercise? Why is exercise good for your plumbing system? Let me put it in a way for you to understand. Mose, shush. Please don't bark on my video. Stop. No more. When you go to the toilet and number 2 comes out, that's waste that your body does not need. What is the first thing you do after you've finished everything in the toilet and you're about to leave the toilet? I know what I do. I flush the toilet because I don't want to see that waste sitting there, festering, smelling, and clogging up my plumbing of my toilet. So I flush it away, and there it goes. What happens if I didn't flush that away? What happens if Monday I went to the toilet? I'm going to leave that there. Can't be bothered flushing that away. Tuesday I went to the toilet. Wednesday I went to the toilet. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Wow. That toilet would be clogged up. The plumbing would be backed up. It would be stinky. It would start to fester and become toxic. Okay, not just the smell and the waste that is sitting there, but as I said, the plumbing system in the back end. All I have to do to get rid of all of that waste is flush the damn toilet. Now, what does this correlate to in our body? If we aren't exercising, because exercising is the only way that flushes our system out, okay? Once you exercise, you increase your heart rate. When your heart rate increases, basically what it does is like pressing the toilet button. It gives your entire systems, everything inside there, a fresh flush, and it rids all of your toxic waste, okay? Not only your muscles, your ligaments, your tendons, your joints, your lymphatic system, your cells, your internals, everything works better when you increase your heart rate to fresh flush it. Now, you don't have to do that every day like I would expect you to do that in the toilet every day, fresh flush the toilet, but at least 3 times a week, you need to fresh flush your body or it's going to become toxic and build up its amount of crap and then block up the systems inside it. Does that make sense? I hope so. And I hope you feel dirty too if you haven't exercised in a few days. I'm only kidding. Alright, so exercise, very important. Food, as I said, we went into this last time in my last video, but food, what you put into your mouth fuels your brain. How your brain feels, your body feels, okay? How your body feels, your brain feels. Have a look at my last video to understand about that relationship. So exercise and food is all the plumbing needs. Then we go to the joinery. This is my favorite subject, the joinery. This is what I love to do. I love the physical aspect of the body. The joints, the muscles, the ligaments, the tendons, the joinery, okay? The joinery is important because without your joints, you can't move, all right? Your physical health on the outside doesn't mean squiddly squat if you're not looking after your inside of your body, and that is your mechanical makeup, what moves you internally. Your joint systems here. What comes off your joints are your ligaments and your tendons and your muscles, all right? What's one thing that we can improve our joints, our muscles, our ligaments and tendons with? I need a new colour. Exercise. Who would have thought? Exercise improves joint function. Why? Because the more you exercise, the more fresh flush you get. The more the lymphatic drainage happens through your joint structures. The more your cartilage moves and doesn't get stuck and stagnant, okay? Your joints, this is how I explain joints. If you look outside at the electrical poles outside, okay, the wiring poles, yes? So you've got the wire, the electrical pole, like your wooden pole, the wire, the wooden pole. The wooden poles are your joints. They hold all of the electrical wiring system and all of the structural formations in place. Your wiring system goes through, in and out, past your joint structures, okay? If something goes wrong within your central nervous system, the communication, it has to travel through these big things. So the more you look after and take care of your telegraph poles, the better the wiring system can travel in and out and past and through the telegraph poles and past your body and communicate better. Jeez, I hope that makes sense. I go on a tangent sometimes. I'm passionate about this stuff. So, what do we have to do for our joints to keep them healthy? We have to move them. Exercise, but not only exercise. Because if I exercise like this every single day of my life, I'm moving my joints in a single plane motion. Our joints, they actually have synovial fluid within them. Now that synovial fluid carries nutrients that repairs cartilage, ligament and bone. That synovial fluid needs to be squeezed out of your synovial membrane. We can get this towel and I'm going to show you what I mean. If this towel was wet and I just went like this, a bit of water would come out. But if I actually wrung it out and I squeezed it out, all of that water would come out. Now, if I'm doing this and keeping my joints in a single plane motion, yeah, I'm getting a bit of squeeze of water out. But if I'm rotating my joints and if I'm moving my joints in a different plane of motion, like my program online, you'll learn all about it, then you get a great squeeze of synovial fluid happening out in between your joint structures. They become healthy, happy. They then communicate better to this, and then that communicates better to this, and then that runs this better, and then you feel amazing. Here. I think I'm on crack rock today. I hope you learnt something from that video. I really do. That your body is very similar to a building construction zone. And what you need is a set of tools that you can always come back to. You can put your own tools in your tool belt. I don't care what they are. Whatever floats your boat. I've written my top 10 tools in my book, Under Construction, The Body Rebuild. You're going to find these tools amazing because I have tried and tested them over the years. I have been an athlete, I have been a mother, I have been a paramedic, I've been a lot of things, and I've tested and always come back to these specific tools. Well, not these specific tools, but my own body tools. You need to find your own body tools. You need to always have them on your tool belt. And then every time you get stressed, every time you get sick, every time you get run down, every time that you need a little pick-me-up, you can go, ha, I'm going to do yoga today. I'm going to do hot-cold therapy today. I'm going to do vibration therapy today. You'll learn that one in my book. Damn it, I should have worn these. I'm going to be awesome today. Okay? There you go. There you have it. Simplify health to magnify life. It's really quite easy. Enjoy. I'd love to know what tools are in your belt that take your health to the next level. Because obviously we're all different and we will all have different set of tools. I would love to know. Thanks, guys. See you later. Wait, stop! I nearly forgot. You can get my book, Under Construction, kapow, on my website, www.elisedgiovanni.com, ebook format. You're going to love it. I mean, you are. It's full of goodness. You can start with my tools, then you can find what works for you.